Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this 6th day of January 2024. This weather update is being brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated, also being brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. Well folks, there's a lot on the table. We have likely the biggest changes of the winter season coming across the western United States and really the whole nation. This includes all lower 48 states. Also, this includes the provinces of central and western Canada as well as all of North America. We'll see the coldest air of the season. This is going to be moving in late next week and by next weekend and maybe lingering for quite a period of time. This is going to bring some dangerously cold temperatures and areas of snow and ice with bitter cold wind chills. This could be a major weather event, and livestock interests should closely monitor forecasts next week in this weather pattern. When we take a look, though, over the last week, it's been pretty quiet. Now, we did get some more rain along the west coast and into the Great Basin. A large stretch, though, of the Rockies and the northern and adjacent plains really not seeing much, although Arizona, New Mexico, southern Colorado, this area here at the end of the week did get some rain and snow. But it's generally been fairly quiet since after that Christmas storm, which you can still see over the snowfall over the last couple of weeks. That basically is the storm that came just after Christmas Day. But as we see the weather pattern unfold, big changes are coming. Over the last week, the coldest temperatures relative to average have been in the southern parts of the United States here, while the rest of the nation really has had fairly tame late December and early January weather. That's why we're so concerned about this big change that's coming, because it's going to be a complete 180 from what we've had over the last several weeks. This is why, beginning this weekend, we're noticing the jet stream right here is starting to take a dip, allowing colder air out of Canada to move in. Initially, rain and snow from the Pacific Northwest will spread inland across the U.S. for a busy weekend and early next week of areas of rain and thunderstorms in the south and rain and snow as you get further north. And we're going to see some winter weather, but the real bitter cold air through the weekend and early next week will remain up here. But even this weekend into early next week, the western United States will see some chances of snow and generally a trend towards colder, more typical January-like weather as compared to the last 2 or 3 weeks, which has been generally mild. But as we look past this forecast period to next weekend, as we get into the weekend of the 13th and 14th, bitter cold air out of Canada is going to settle into the western and northern U.S. The air underneath this pattern is as cold as it's been all winter season, and dare I say maybe colder than anything we saw last winter. This could be a very disruptive wave of cold, snow, and ice across the western United States, and this could include, if this Arctic air goes far enough west, the Pacific coasts of Washington and Oregon, possibly freezing temperatures into California. It's on the table. And if the record cold temperatures that get any going on with any wind, we're going to have bitter cold wind chills as well. And you can see this here by the purple. This is by next weekend. You see that large area of purple? Those purple areas represent temperatures that are as much as 30 to 50 degrees below average. This means that we're looking at sub-zero temperatures. By the 15th, this is by Monday, the 15th, anywhere you see gray, that means temperatures are below zero or forecasted to be below zero. That means from the Sierra Nevada to southern Colorado, out across the plain states, then all the way up here, everything along and north of that black line is going to be below zero. The pink areas here represent 20 to 30 to below zero or colder. So this is the real McCoy in terms of what may be a severe Arctic outbreak for the plains, the Rockies, and the Pacific Northwest. And eventually that cold will extend far south into the southwestern United States as well. Very wet for the central and eastern United States over the next week. We will see this pattern being very productive for the Intermountain West to have a boost in the snowpack, which it needs. Snowpack levels are far below average, but this will get snow going in the mountains again. And look at the forecast over the next week for the low elevations. A lot of the nation headed towards significant snow over the next week to 10 days. Some of it could be heavy, and with that snow will be those severe cold temperatures and bitter cold wind chills. So it goes without saying, livestock interest by the middle to the end of next week and by next weekend. Stay close to forecasts, monitor them, and start getting prepared, as it looks like our confidence is high that this Arctic outbreak by late next week and next weekend is going to come to fruition. Have yourself a good week ahead. We'll see you next week.